Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Shrinavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Radhyanthasto Vadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतीये उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So today I am going to summarize the 19th chapter, fourth canto, 19th chapter. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm going to speak for my own purification. I have prepared my notes from the purports by Srila Prabhupada. So please forgive me if I make any mistakes in summarizing them. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this chapter we learn about Prathu Maharaj's sacrifices, his 100 sacrifice. So we have learned that Prathu Maharaj, he was a Shaktavesh avatar of the Lord. So what that means is, even though he was a living entity, a Jivatma, but he was specially empowered by the Supreme Lord to represent him. And in this way, he appeared as a righteous king and he ruled his subjects according to Vedic principles. Now, somebody may ask the question, why King Prithu initiated the performance of 100 horse sacrifices? Is it for his own glorification or is it because he wanted to be ahead of Indra or equal to Indra? No, the answer is he did this for the benefit of his subjects. Because in earlier days, kings used to perform these sacrifices so that the citizens may live peacefully. They have all the facilities. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 3.14, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhava yagyad bhavati parjanyo yagya karma samudbhava. All living entities subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. So this was the main reason Prithu Maharaj was performing the yagya. Now, when the most powerful Indra, the king of heaven, saw this, he considered the fact that King Prithu was going to exceed him in fruitive activities. He did not understand the real motive of Prithu Maharaj. And thus, Indra could not tolerate this great sacrificial ceremonies being performed by Prithu Maharaj. So, what do we learn from this? As we have discussed over last few weeks, that in this material world, everyone has come to enjoy and to lord it over, right? This is the main reason we came here. And when we come with that mentality, we are obviously going to be envious of others. Actually, it is said that we were in spiritual world and we developed envy towards Krishna. That is why we came to this material world, because we were thinking, why Krishna is the supreme enjoyer? Why Krishna is the center of attraction? Why can't I be that person? So that's why Krishna has given us this playground to come here and become the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, at least try to become that. So that's what we try to do all our lives. And we keep getting frustrated. Finally, in the old age, we realized that all these attempts were futile and it was a big mistake to do that. So this envy is also found in the different demigods, especially in King of Heaven, Indra. We have learned several stories that Indra has been envious of many other people. He is especially envious of great fruitive activities uh, and the execution of yoga practices or siddhis. So he cannot tolerate that, and he tries to break them up. So before Prithu Maharaj, actually Indra is the one who had done 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. So he was really afraid that finally there is somebody going to be equal to him. So in no one in this material world can tolerate another's advancement. Everyone in this material world is called Matsara or envious. Right? I'm sure you all have learned this saying that, oh Lord, please make me free from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Matsar, Mad and Matsar. These five things: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mad, Matsar. So Matsar means enviousness. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam, the study of Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for those who are completely nirmastara or non-envious. In other words, one who is not free from contamination of envy cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, however, if someone excels another person, the devotee who is excelled thinks how fortunate the other person is to be advancing in devotional service. So if we see somebody making great progress, then we think that, wow, this person must be working really hard, or they are giving the required time for Krishna, or they must have some sukriti from past life, or maybe they got the mercy of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So we think in these different ways. We do not become envious, like why this person is able to perform such good devotional service, why I'm not able to perform. We realize that we need to work on our uh, faults, we need to work on our weaknesses. So this is our mentality. But in material world, even the demigods are not exempt from this envy. So Indra, being the king of demigods, also exhibits those. Now, King Prithu, like we mentioned in the beginning of this, that King Prithu was performing these sacrifices to get all the necessities of life from earth. That was his idea. But today, in this age of Kali Yuga, we have the Sankirtan movement as started by ISKCON, which is providing us the best sacrifice possible. That is the Nam Sankirtan. Because the holy name of Krishna is both sadhana and sadhya. What that means, it's both practice and goal. And if Sankirtana Yajna is performed, there will be no difficulty. And no difficulty in spiritual life and no difficulty in material life, right? So we will have ample rain, we will not have uh, weather related disturbances, we will have in general peace in society. If people follow regulative principle and they do chanting, if no animal killing is happening, right? So that's what we need to understand. And it is mentioned in Bhagavatam that whatever result was obtained in Satyuga by meditating on Lord Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga by serving Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we are on the best path possible for Kali Yuga. We have to remember that, and we have to count our blessings that by somehow or other we have come on this path. And we have to believe in the words of Guru Sadhu Shastra, right? That this path will take us to our destination. We should not get distracted. We see this tendency in devotees that even though they are on this path, but still they would like to do some yajna or some puja or some some other things, they still are not 100% confident that this path alone can deliver them. They still try to do some other uh, activities. Now, the other thing mentioned in this chapter was this word pakhanda, which is also sometimes pronounced as pasanda. Both of these words indicate an impostor who presents himself as a very religious person, but is actually simple. So Indra took up the saffron colored dress as a way of cheating others. He was afraid that the son of Prithu Maharaj is going to kill him. So he knew if he dresses as sadhu, he will be saved. So he did this. So this is condemned here and considered the beginning of such practice, which is very prevalent now, right? So we see nowadays this is a big problem in India and elsewhere where so many fake gurus or sadhus or spiritual leaders have come up that they just by wearing dress and putting tilak or putting some kantimala and all that, they pretend to be gurus, but their character is not of a sannyasi. Their behavior is not of a sannyasi. So now the question arises, are these sacrifices needed? And who is the real sannyasi, right? Is somebody who's just wearing the clothes or knowing a lot of shlokas from scriptures, are they sannyasi? No. So, as far as sacrifices are concerned, one who is unattached to the fruits of his works and one who works in the renounced order of life and is true mystic. He does not have to light fires and perform various ceremonies. One who offers the results of activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually a sannyasi and yogi. So, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, the man in the age of Kali are short lived, devoid of spiritual knowledge, susceptible to accept false religion systems due to their unfortunate condition, and they are always disturbed. So, the only true sannyasi possible in this age of Kali is one who offers all their activities in the service of Krishna. That's it. The Vedic system, Vedic Shastras actually prohibit the adoption in sannyas in the age of Kali because they knew that this will happen. Less intelligent man will accept sannyas in order for cheating purposes. So they have prohibited this, and the only religion is the religion of surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead. We must serve the Lord in Krishna consciousness. All other systems of sannyasa and religion are actually not bona fide. So it is the duty of the king to not tolerate the introduction of any religious system, right? Since King Prithu was incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his duty was to cut down all kinds of irreligious system. And we should learn from him. Unfortunately, we see that today's leaders are cowards and they declare a secular state. And in the secular state, in the name of secularism, anything goes, right? And such a way, the religious principles are being compromised and irreligion is spreading because citizens are also not interested in spiritual advancement, right? So this is why the human society's condition is deteriorating and it is becoming hellish. This is what we see today in the world in general and India in particular, right? We see that in the name of secularism or in the name of liberalism, we see that anything and everything goes, right? Anybody is allowed to practice anything, or they are allowed to interpret in any which way, or declare themselves as incarnation or, God man, several terms we see. So this is causing the people to be misguided and misdirected. And we are lacking the real spiritual leadership. So that is what Srila Prabhupada wanted to do. He wanted to create Brahmanas out of our movement, the real Brahmanas, not just the Brahmanas by birth, who can be role models by their example, right? How one should behave, how one's character should be. That was his plan. Now we need to understand that as far as sacrifices are concerned, everything is arranged by Supreme Personality of God. Everything is his property. We simply need to take what we need and everything will be fine. The problem comes when we are greedy. We want to take more and more. Earth's resources are enough to support everyone, right? But they are not enough to support everyone's greed. So, uh, if we live our life in a proper way, and if we use Earth's resources in a proper way, then there'll be no scarcity of anything. Now, we also learn that in this chapter that when King Prithu got very angry and he was prepared to kill Indra, he was stopped by Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma addressed to him that you should not kill him because, first of all, you are performing a sacrificial ceremony. Secondly, Indra is the one of the most powerful assistants of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Brahma told him, let there be 99 sacrifices. And he said, you are a great devotee of the Lord. So there is no necessity for you to complete 100 sacrifices. All the results, all the punya that comes out of it, you will receive without even performing the 100 yajna, right? So, uh, so Lord Brahma, he came up with a compromise where Lord Prithu's desire to do 100 yajnas, it was, he granted him all the fame and all the good fortune that was to come. And Indra was also not disturbed by seeing the 100 yajna be performed. So, and that is why we still remember Maharaj Prithu. We are reading about his glories. We are glorifying him. We are learning about him because he showed maturity. He listened to Lord Brahma and he was not in a competition with Indra that, no, I will do it, And he realized that this is not important. What is important is to get Lord's blessings, that's what it is important. So we should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, that is, if that is what is destined to happen, we should accept it. We should not be very sorry. The problem is that the more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. So sometimes some things happen by providential arrangement. We should just accept it. Okay, this is what my destiny is, or maybe Lord Krishna has some plan to make me advance in spiritual life. So by his arrangement, this has happened. We should not try to fight it out. We should not try to reverse it. We should practice more and more on our spiritual life rather than resisting that why this is happening to me. And by doing this, we will make more and more progress, right? So our only business is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are never we once we do that, we are never in need for anything else supplied by demigods. All those things will automatically come. We don't have to separately practice for those. A pure devotee does not have to ask for benedictions from anybody. A pure devotee does not have to perform these extra ceremonies. We need to have purity, we need to have faith, and we need to chant the name of Lord, and everything will automatically be fulfilled. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo